Hey guys, in this video in the background, you guys are going to be seeing just random gameplay of Labyrinth as well as screenshots of some of the stuff that I found along the way to talk you guys into your decisions about what to do with the ticket case. So I'll start off with just saying this is insane spoilers. Please do not watch any further if you do not want spoilers for any part of the storyline. Now we're going to be talking about the decisions and what happens given which decision you make at each step of the game and all of the decisions that we know so far with the ticket chapter of the game. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the ticket, you guys get a briefcase from the plane. That is how the Falling Skies chapter ends, is you get a briefcase. Now inside this briefcase is a golden ticket out of Tarkov. Full spoilers, it doesn't work. So it is literally an ID badge, RFID badge with someone's name, and it also contains instructions for how to use it. And it tells you that it will give you access to extraction at the port on shoreline. Now, you're going to come across a decision where you now have the case and you can give the case to Prapor or you can decide to keep it. Now, the first route, if you decide to give the case to Prapor, you will then go talk to Mr. Kerman. And when you talk to Mr. Kerman will say, "You've screwed up. You have written your own death note. You should have never given that case to Prapor. Now go get it back." You go talk to Prapor. He tells you to go to mechanic. The mechanic tells you the only way to get the case back is to go talk to the Lightkeeper. Then you unlock Network Provider Part 1 and the beginning of the quest line to unlock Lightkeeper. And as far as you can tell, those are not locked by other quests that hold you back. You immediately unlock this and can progress towards getting Lightkeeper. That is the first quest. We don't know where that goes because no one has gotten Lightkeeper and shared that information yet. So if you decide to keep the case for yourself, you're then going to talk to Mr. Kerman. And when you talk to Mr. Kerman, you have two options. Trust what Mr. Kerman is telling you, or don't trust what Mr. Kerman is telling you. I don't know which decision is right. I don't even know if keeping the case from Prapor is correct or not. We don't know if there's any right or wrong, but there are 4 different endings, which I will talk about in the end of this video, and there will be chapters along the bottom, so you can skip through to that part if you just want to hear that. But if you decide to keep the case from Prapor, you now talk to Kerman. Kerman tells you the key is fucking useless. You can't do anything with it. Then you have to decide to trust him or not to trust him. If you decide to not trust him, what is going to happen is you're going to keep the case from Kerman, and Mr. Kerman says, "Okay, fuck you. You don't want to work with me. I don't want to work with you. Don't believe me, whatever, goodbye." Then you have to go back to Prapor and beg Prapor to help you. And when you go back and beg Prapor to help you, he says, "Okay, but it's going to cost you." And you have to pay him 500 million rubles. Yes, 500 million rubles. Right now, the streamer Tiggs is currently leading the charge towards unlocking this, at least publicly leading the charge towards unlocking this. He's already at the moment recording this, 260 mil. Out of in 2 days, so very impressive. He should be done this very, very soon, and we should have some updates on this. If you guys want to hear about that, please let me know. The other quest line is you keep the case from Prapor, and when Mr. Kerman asks you to trust him, you decide to trust him. As far as we can tell, this might be the best way to go so far. In my opinion, this is the way I would go. I trust Kerman. I think Kerman wants the best for the world, and he hates everyone inside of the universe of Tarkov. So hold up, there's dogs, and I need to let them out. You trust Mr. Kerman and work with Mr. Kerman. He is then going to send you on a search for a master key. You have to find a key card that's located on labs inside the brand new area. Then you're going to have to do a craft that's going to take a while, and he's also going to ask you for 40 physical bitcoins. Now, I don't believe they have to be found in raid, but you need to hand over 40 bitcoins for this craft with mechanic. You then have to activate the RFID card, which takes a whole craft on itself. You guys can look into this if you would like. You then try to use it on shoreline. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work again. So now Mr. Kerman then makes you make another decision, and we only have one answer for how far this gets you so far. So the next decision you make is, do you want, after the keycard that Mr. Kerman helps you create a new one of, do you want to help Mr. Kerman search for incriminating evidence against Terror Group, or do you want to refuse to help him? Now, I will personally be choosing to help him at this point. I'm making my decisions preemptively before any of the results even come out. But if you decide to help him, You will then have to finish a bunch of missions. You have to finish the chapter for a random witness, Blue Fire, the Unknown, the Labyrinth, They Are Already Here, the Ticket, and the Father. And you have to hand over the documents from all of those quests to him. It's a 32 documents in total. That's as far as we know because no one has all of those completed yet and is this far. So that's what we know. If you decide to work with him again after that point, you're going to have to hand over all those documents to help find the incriminating evidence on Terror Group. The other option is do not help him gather the incriminating evidence. Now I'm going to go over why I trust Mr. Kerman and why I think that you should kind of be a slave to what Mr. Kerman says to you. So if you guys go to Steam DB and you look up Tarkov on there, on the Steam DB, you guys can see all of the achievements. Now, I'll put some screenshots on here, but there are 4 endings we're looking at in Tarkov. We're looking at Survivor, which is escape from Tarkov, no matter the cost. And it clearly is like the Survivor. You fucking didn't trust anybody. You did whatever was in your best interest, and you gave everyone else the middle finger. The other one is Fallen, escape from Tarkov, only to fall in the darkness. The other one is Debtor, which is escape from Tarkov without ever escaping from yourself. And then the last one is Savior, escape from Tarkov to save the humanity. Now, I'll throw up on screen the images for these, but Survivor is a lone survivor, stray dog walking away on a lonely path with a gun and his head down. Fallen, which is escape from Tarkov only to fall in darkness, has what looks like a gloved operator hand making contact with a skeleton hand over a pile of money with a knife going through both of them. Debtor is the lighthouse, obviously signaling that's probably what happens if you work with Lightkeeper. And Savior shows the Terror Group logo with a very green, prospering background with a tree growing out of it, which in my eyes is like the downfall of Terror Group Labs, and sprouting from it is growth and prosper, aka taking down Terror Group, is the way I see it, which is why my prediction is to trust Mr. Kerman. Mr. Kerman, over all the events we've had in game, everything else kind of demonstrates that he is very much against Terror Group and everyone who's kind of tied to Tarkov shenanigans. He is not a fan of any of it. He likes to just pull strings and make crazy stuff happen. It seems like he is against everything that is Tarkov. And that's why I'm going to personally trust him. Sorry if your dog's barking. Debtor, like I'll be showing the logo here on screen, it is clearly whatever you get from working with Lightkeeper, and it looks like you become a slave to the cultists, almost. Fallen looks like one of the probably worst endings, which is just like you try your best to be a good guy, but you don't try hard enough, and you end up, or you don't want to be morally incorrect, so you get taken advantage of in the plot by Prapor or by some of the other people pulling strings here in Tarkov, maybe even Mr. Kerman himself, who knows. And then Survivor, escape from Tarkov no matter the cost, which means kind of, in my mind, it thinks that you're just ultimately thinking about you're going to do whatever it takes, and you got to do all the quests, you got to pay all the money, you got to do everything, and just willing to get out no matter who you have to burn. So yeah, that's where we're currently on the storyline. I will tell you guys a couple other side notes here if you guys are interested in hearing them. But there's also achievement Will It Blow, which is hand the case with dangerous contents to the wrong people. You clearly had no other choice. That's crazy. I don't know what that is. There's also When the Lights Fade, which is free Tarkov from the priest's eyes. We already know what this is. If you finish the quest line, They're Already Here, I believe it's that one. You find out that there is a eye of Tarkov or whatever. I forget what it's called, but it's a giant surveillance room underneath a power station and interchange, and you have to turn off and disconnect it from the outside world so that it only captures things locally now from now on. If you turn that off, you will get that achievement. Then U-turn is agree to the job only to change your mind after. Don't know what that's about. No one's gotten that one yet as far as I'm aware. But those are all the 4 endings and where we are in the storyline currently and how we think that they play into that. I'm guessing that Savior is going to be trusting Kerman all the way. Although there is an achievement that says don't fall. It's called Enough of Your Games, and it says refuse to fall for Mr. Kerman's schemes. So maybe Mr. Kerman isn't a great guy. We're not entirely sure here. It's up for you guys to make up your mind on. But Debtor obviously is going to be something to do with the Lightkeeper and the cultists. if you go that path, you go that path. I'll show you guys the background images here, the new start screens, based on what ending you get. They look super cool. So let me know what you guys want to aim for, which ones you guys are looking out for. If there's anything else, or if you guys want more updates on the storyline and how it's going, or other quests and how to progress through them, I plan on making guides for all of the big main quests. Just let me know what you guys want the most, and I'm going to get on top of it. I'm currently moving, so I have not been able to grind out the quests as I want to, but we will be on them shortly, and I'll try my best to make guides on every single one of them, just like I did for the Labyrinth one. And off the backpack of that, if you guys want to know how to get the thesis, which is the Labyrinth achievement, I have a step-by-step guide, start to finish, already up on the channel. It's my previous video right before this one. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.